Hello YouTube. As I said, I have a job, so I don't have that much time to do videos and shit, but I thought I'd do a quick follow-up to my video to Carl of Swindon / Sargon of Akkad. So I released a compilation video of him just insulting me. He said that you don't have any genuine friends, you're unbearable, your channel's unpopular, you're not cool, no one likes you, you're a cuck, you're low energy, you're stupid, sad, why do you think you're so fucking unpopular, loser, you're autist, etc. The only reason that I released that video was because I was like, oh wow, look, okay, Sargon's responded to me, I'll have a look, I'll see what kind of stuff he's saying. And after about 20 minutes of sitting through this, I was like, wow, this is an amazing amount of insults. I'm not quite sure why he feels the need to insult me so much, because I think if you edited my 47-minute video, which he admitted he only watched 13 minutes of, so he didn't watch very much of it at all. He watched a quarter of the video, which I think is kind of weird. I think if you're going to do a response to a video, watch the entire video and then choose the parts you want to respond to. Like, that's what I did with his This Week in Stupid. I watched the whole thing, and then I chose what bits to respond to, and I put timestamps so that you could see that. But instead, he sat down to like live react to my video. He only got through 13 minutes, so as far as he knows, I clarified some of the things I said later. He wouldn't know because he didn't watch it. And he kept saying, I don't care. I don't care about you, Tim. I don't care about you at all. Then why'd you sit through the fucking video? And why'd you bother making an hour 15? But then he's got some excuse like, oh, I just had Saturday free and that's why I did it. I don't care. I don't care at all. I'm not bothered. By the way, I'm going to spend like 3 to 5 minutes, because that wasn't all the insults. That was just a selection. So people were like, whoa, you got 3 minutes of insults out of an hour 15 video. Yeah, it's because I didn't go through it as meticulously as I could have. I probably could have got twice that amount. I probably could have got 6 minutes of insults out of that video. It would have been even funnier to see him insult me for like 6 minutes. But it's really fucking stupid. Just be like, completely nonplussed, I don't care, this is so beneath me. Oh, it's no big deal to me. You fucking loser, you don't have any friends. You're autist, you're the worst, you're terrible. Oh, I don't care at all. I don't. Swindon, don't be mean to Swindon. Yeah, that was the other thing. Swindon. I'm sure Swindon is fine. The reason that I called you Carl of Swindon, I wasn't insulting Swindon. I mean, some people have said to me Swindon is a shithole. That wasn't me, that was them. And I was like, oh, I don't fucking know, because I don't know anything about Swindon. I was making fun of the fact that you call yourself Sargon of Akkad. I would just be like Tim of Wellington. And that would be perfectly fine with me. I'm fine with being Tim of Wellington. What's wrong with being Carl of Swindon? Why are you so offended about Swindon? And why would I care about Swindon? You call yourself Sargon of Akkad, which is a very lofty name. It's like this amazing conqueror from history. I don't call myself Tim Julius Caesar of Rome. And then you're like, actually, you're Tim of Wellington. Actually, I don't live in Wellington. I live just outside of Wellington. Wellington's doing well. Well, don't be mean to Wellington. Oh my God. You seriously sound like you're having a meltdown. And then you kept saying I'm mendacious and that I'm not No! I legitimately listened to that and thought, this guy seems a little unhinged. He should take a break. And when you said, I'll go off and like write a book then or something like that, that's fantastic. And you can tell me to fuck off and you can say that what I'm saying is bullshit or something, and you did. And that's perfectly fine. That's just the nature of like trading opinions. It's the same with Bearing. People said to me, you want to shut down Bearing's channel, you hate Bearing. I don't want to shut down his channel. I found out about his artwork plagiarism ages ago and I didn't do anything about it. I left it alone because I'm not interested in shutting down his voice or shutting down his channel. I just wanted to give him feedback about how to be less of a douche, and then he said, I'm going to change nothing. I don't care about the fact that I'm a massive twat. And that's just the nature of it. You can tell me to fuck off. Whatever you did tell me to fuck off, and that's fine. But I don't know why you're so fucking torn up about it. I'm just some random dude. How come you can't handle somebody saying, hey, you're totally not being critical enough about Trump? You just fly off the handle again. You just go berserk like, you don't have any friends, you're autistic, you're low energy, sad, or whatever. You are being an establishment shill and a voice piece for Trump. So Trump is the establishment now. I thought he was some kind of like, yeah, he was some kind of outsider. Now he's the fucking president of the United States. Why can you not understand that? Why can't you get it through your head? Here you go. Here's one insult for my video. Your thick head. Play that on a loop. You're fucking thick. Alright, you're an idiot. How about that? So you've got 2 insults that you can play on a loop versus my 3 minutes, which could have been 6. Bane said in Batman, I give it back to you.
Yeah, no, he says like 4 words that Bane says in Batman. In fact, I'll go through it in the video, but go on.
Ooh, the people. And to Sargon,
my impression was better.
He's like, good enough for me.
Yes. Yes, Tim. Yes, that is. That is exactly the sort of attitude that has to happen. The regular majority of people who don't live in liberal elitist areas have to be served by their political systems as well as the people living in these areas.
You completely missed the point of the Bane thing. My point was, he said, I give it back to you, the people, which is a good populist message. But the fact is, he was the bad guy who wants to fucking blow up Gotham. And you said, this is great, like Sean Spicer, he's getting around the media, he's going around the Clinton News Network, and he's showing the media who's boss. But you failed to mention that in that press conference, he was saying to the press, we had the biggest numbers ever at an inauguration, which is not accurate. That's not true.
This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe.
And he said, how dare you report that the crowd was small? You agreed with me that the crowd was small. After all of this took place, and the new press secretary, Sean Spicer, was like, naughty media, saying that we didn't have historic numbers. Well, we did because we say so. Ha, got you.
Yeah, wow, oh my god, a politician lied. Fuck me, what a surprise, that's new. It's not like any Democrat politicians would ever lie, is it, Tim?
You agree that that's factual, so what you're essentially saying is, isn't it great that the Trump administration is going to go around the media by attacking them and telling them to report inaccurate information because it supports the regime? Can you not see how that's a problem? We can talk about the problems with CNN. I think the problem with CNN is it has an enforced neutrality bias, which is basically they say, Trump says this, other random people say that, we don't know what's true, you decide for yourself. They should say, actually, this is the best information we have, and this is what's factual. But you wouldn't like that, because Trump lies regularly, he twists the facts, and he twists the information, so if CNN fact-checked him, they would be pretty harsh on Trump, and you wouldn't like that, because you are a fucking shill, which is a word you like to throw out there, for Trump. You didn't find anything worrisome about Sean Spicer telling the press what they should report for the regime, otherwise he's gonna cut the press out because they're fucking butthurt because they weren't nice to him during the election. They are the people in power now. You should be more skeptical. Be more skeptical, Carl. Stop being so sensitive. Stop having your meltdowns. Stop getting so angry. Stop getting so torn up that somebody dares to criticize you. You're just a fucking dude on YouTube. It's great you've got lots of subs. I don't have that many subs, got 2,000 something, but I love all of them. They're all fantastic people. My subs are tremendous. My subs are the greatest, believe me. But you totally shit the bed on the Bane thing. Don't know why you went on about Swindon so much, and also why did you hypocritically shit on New Zealand? I don't care, but it's very hypocritical. You were so mean and condescending about Swindon. I wasn't. It was about you being called Sargon of Akkad. It wasn't about Swindon. You know what? I'm gonna shit on your entire country. For revenge. That's hypocritical. In the same fucking breath, you're being a hardcore hypocrite. That's ridiculous. I don't get everything you do is hypocritical. It's like, seriously. Okay, that's an exaggeration. I take that back. Most of the things you do seem to be hypocritical. For example, you made fun of the fact that I had some man spanking another man in my video. And I found it fucking hilarious. That shit made me laugh, especially when he's smacking him on the dick. It's hilarious. And then you're like, what is this cuckery? What is this gay shit? Is this the kind of stuff you watch in your spare time? Carl, you just got suspended from Twitter for spamming gay porn. So I could just literally say the same thing to you, except yours was much worse. All I did was go to YouTube search, and I looked up man spanking man, and you're like, what is this? Is this supposed to represent Trump beating up the press? Yes, it was. So you got the joke. Cool. But dude, you got suspended for spamming gay porn. Like, how do you function being this hypocritical? And all the mind reading about me being mendacious, like, no, I was genuine. I have joke videos and I have serious videos. That was a serious video. I meant everything I said, so I just stand by it all. You had interesting points to make about collectivism versus individualism. It was completely unfair characterization of what I believe. You just made it all up. You made me the representative of all feminists and all social justice warriors. And you essentially just told me what I believe. You were like, you think this, you think that. Do you even care about male suicide? Yeah, I mean, I made a video about suicide. And I specifically talked about males. And I've got a history of issues with, like, depression. I've attempted suicide before. My friend hung himself a while ago. yeah, suicide's a big, important issue for me, and I really care about it, whether it's men or women or anybody. But I mean, the numbers are like way out of control for men. It's fucking crazy. And yeah, I've talked about that. I care about that a lot. So that was just making assumptions on your behalf, which, I mean, you only listened to 13 minutes of my video, so it's not surprising that you'd also just make up everything I think and then try to attack that. But back on collectivism versus individualism, I think that a certain level of collectivism is necessary for a functioning society, but I also think freedom of expression is paramount and people need to be able to express themselves. But that also includes like expressing your religion. So I know the Muslim ban is just about 7 specific countries, but it is troubling that it could be going down a road of intolerance towards different religions, and there's a lot of bigotry and anger towards Muslims in America. And that's just a fact. I mean, it's a complicated issue, but people do need to be able to express themselves, and individualism is very important, but there's limits on that because society is a collective, and that's just the fact of it. So there's a tension between individualism and collectivism. You were saying, like, I have a collectivist mentality. I will say that I think in certain areas, things like affirmative action could be necessary, but it's a case-by-case basis, and I also think society as a whole needs to put value in education and community investment and infrastructure investment and building up those areas of society which are worse and affected, and that does mean putting more resources into those particular neighborhoods, etc., which is something that you have acknowledged, because you're like, if you're growing up in poverty and in these difficult situations, it's harder to get ahead in life. So you already like sort of agree with me on that, but you just want to be a cock because that's you, Carl Cockjuman of Cockface. There you go, there's another insult. So for me, there's an interesting tension and dynamic between collectivism and individualism, but if you just want to say I'm a pure collectivist, then that is not a fair characterization of my positions. But if you just want to build up some image of me, like, you did this, you did Trump, you are the representative of, like, you're exactly like this person yelling in the street, even though you don't know my thoughts on that. I think, yeah, that person yelling no looked silly. They looked ridiculous. You think that's a wider issue to do with the left? That that's something infesting the left, in your opinion? I don't know if I'd take it that far, but yeah, it looks silly, sure, absolutely. But we could have some kind of interesting conversation about individualism versus collectivism. But if you just want to say, you're a collectivist, and then that's it, well, there's no conversation. Total waste of time, completely pointless. So, I mean, it was interesting to hear you just ramble to yourself about that, I suppose. Didn't have much to do with what I was saying or me, but okay. There was one specific point, just one tiny ray of hope in the entire video, when you said, I'm not going to assume what you think about identity politics. Amazing. I did not expect you to be that charitable, because at other times you just tell me what I think. Yeah, I thought Hillary did identity politics and it failed miserably. There's a special place in hell for women who don't vote for Hillary. That's fucked up. That's so stupid. And also when Hillary said a basket of deplorables, you know, I agree with that, personally. I think that a lot of Trump supporters are racist and shitty people and whatever. I'm sorry, that's going to set you off because you can't handle a different opinion. But I agree. I agreed with Hillary's statement, but at the same time, you can't do that at a presidential level because that just makes people not want to support you. And it just divides everybody. And she did that a lot. She was very divisive. I got called a sexist and a misogynist and a Bernie bro for supporting Bernie. And I had fights with Hillary supporters who were like, you just don't want the woman in there and all this shit. And it was just like identity crap, basically. And also her policies were in no way as good for African Americans. I mean, you know, she was involved in pushing the crime bill back in the 90s, etc., super predator comments, so on and so forth. She was not my ideal candidate. You said I was lying when I said I wouldn't hold Hillary accountable, but, you know, some of your anti-Hillary rants, they literally sounded lifted word for word from the video that I made about Hillary and Bernie. And I was basically, she's not trustworthy, she's corrupt, she's a terrible candidate, she's dividing people, and she's doing identity politics. And I also agree that Bernie, when he talked about when you're white, you know what it's like to be poor, that was a massive gaffe. That was a huge mistake because that was very divisive. Now, I talked to somebody who was like, that's not what he meant, and I know that it doesn't really matter what he meant. That's how it seemed. And you can't insult the voters. Like Trump said to the voters, like, come to me, support me, I'm your friend, everybody is welcome, while at the same time himself playing extremely divisive politics, like I'm going to ban Muslims, fucking rapist Mexicans, women are bleeding out of this and that, and, you know, whatever. He did a fuckload of identity politics, but the thing was, it worked because the one thing he didn't do was insult the voters, whereas Hillary insulted the voters. It's fine to just insult random groups, like Mexicans, like Latinos, Muslims, whatever, to appeal to your own followers. That kind of shit works. But you can't directly say that these people are deplorable, the voters, and you can't say like these people are ignorant and these people are stupid and these people don't know what it's like to be poor, etc. Those were all gaffes, those were all fuck-ups. And that's what Bernie was talking about. But as I said in the video, Bernie is an opponent of Trump and he's an enemy of Trump. He's going to necessarily say Trump is dividing us, because he is, and now we are united fighting against you, because they are. And I don't know why you cry so much about it. Political opposition exists. What's so difficult about that? Why can't you handle that? There's a lot of opposition to Trump, and I get it. You want to blame me for the entire left and everything that's happened, and the only thing that you see narrowly is like social justice warriors caused everything, and for some reason they're the most powerful group in the entire world, which I just don't fucking agree with. But if you have some constructive criticism or some constructive feedback rather than just you don't have any friends or something, I'm listening. I'm fucking listening. So let's hear, how can I fix the left after I broke it? I'm sorry that I broke it, and it's all my personal fault that Trump is... Oh, I'm sorry. And like, I lost. Well, I kind of feel more like America lost. Because he's fucking gonna rape that country. And he's gonna fuck the world up even more than it is. So, I don't know what it's got to do with me. Really. Who really lost was America and Americans. And it's very funny that you want to blame the left for Trump. What about the right? They're the people who actually voted for him. They're the people who actually supported him. They were the people who were jazzed. You know what? And I blame fucking Hillary. She's the fucking goddamn Hillary. I despise Hillary. Like, the biggest insult that I've been given by you is that I'm a Hillary supporter. Now that's offensive. That is fucking offensive. All that other shit, I don't care, but don't call me a Hillary supporter. This morally, that is fucking wrong of you. How fucking dare Hillary supporter. Disgusting. Oh yeah, so that's my view on identity politics. Thank you for asking. Thank you for not assuming. As for the other stuff, there was a whole bunch of other waffle in there. Oh, finally, there's one point that I actually totally agree with you on. I'm capable of taking in new information. I'm not proud. And I'm capable of growing. When you said Trump is doing what he actually said he was going to do, the Muslim ban, quote unquote, dropped just after that. And he did the executive orders with the Affordable Care Act, trying to gut that. With the abortion gag rule, with starting construction on the wall, etc. Yeah, okay, you're right. Absolutely right. He is doing what he said he would do. Alright. Conceding a point. Oh my god, I've been debunked. No, I mean, yeah, okay, good point. But the next question is it a good thing? No, it isn't a good thing. But then you just say, but it's your fault he's president, so we'll just go around in circles. But I feel like you should have a little bit of outrage about that. Except you care more, as I said, about your victory lap than what's happening. So, okay, fine. So there you go. Alright, I'm the bad man, I'm the evil guy. You win. Congratulations, you're still the master. You've got a nice... you've got a nice beard. Your kid is cute. And that's great. It looks like you've got a nice life there. I'm sure Swindon is getting better and improving, and a lot of nice working class people come from Swindon, and you should watch your smoking, because you smoke like 4 cigarettes during your response, and I don't want you to get cancer. I mean it. This is genuine face. Don't get cancer. Peace. Looking good.